Okay, so you have figured out what that why is, and you've written that down, and this why is strong enough that it's going to have you showing up every week for the next 6 weeks, and then continuing your journey on beyond that. Yes? Now, if over the course of the 6 weeks you pull out that card and you read it, and it's not keeping you aligned, then that means that you may need to reconsider that why. You might need to be able to then dig a little bit deeper. So really think about that. It should be something, like I said, that really makes you emotional. So now let's talk about why that is. Our brain, we really function with, two minds. So our brains process 65,000 thoughts a day. 65,000. Now, can you even imagine? How many thoughts are you aware of a day? Because this is really one of the differences between our, conscious mind and our subconscious mind. What you're aware of is your conscious mind. What you're not aware of is your subconscious mind. So a lot of times there's thoughts and they're just going on in the background, right? And we don't even really realize that they're there, but they're there all the time and they're going, and constantly. Now, both the subconscious mind and our subconscious mind have really critical roles. They're very, very important to us. So our conscious mind is, where we get all of our reasoning factors. It's where we get those conscious decisions that we make. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I'm going someplace, I'm going to make a decision to go someplace. Everything that we do, right? We're thinking about, that we consciously think about, we're using our conscious mind for. But it gives us that ability to be able to reason, weigh out pros and cons, and helps with some of our decision making. Our subconscious mind, however, is working in the background. So we don't think about every breath that we take, right? We just take it. Still, there's a message that's being sent from our mind to our respiratory system saying, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. We're not aware of it because that happens on a subconscious level. And so therefore, but there's also things that, we call them instincts, right? And those are really things that happen on the subconscious level as well. So you touch something that's really hot, what do? You pull your hand away real quick. And that's instinct, right? That's your subconscious mind immediately reacting. It's much, much faster than our conscious mind. And so that really comes, when we get gut feelings. So I'm an NCIS fan, and Gibbs and his gut, right? Well, the gut comes from intuition, and intuition comes from our subconscious mind. So it's when you have that subconscious mind, it connects to a deeper source, and that's where our intuition comes from. So if we think about it, our subconscious mind doesn't make us aware of the 65,000 thoughts a day that we have. Instead, what happens is it acts as a filter, and it only lets us become aware of what we really want to be aware of. Now, what do we want to be aware of? Well, we tell our subconscious mind what we want to be aware of. So our conscious mind, has the power to give direction to our subconscious mind, and our conscious mind is the gateway to our subconscious mind. The thing is that they work on different wavelengths, and so as a result, they're not always connected. So our conscious mind is working up here on a beta wavelength, that it's chatter, and but our subconscious mind is working down here on a deeper, more relaxing, alpha and theta wavelengths. So they're not always connected, and so as a result, sometimes our subconscious mind will guide us into decisions that we make or that we don't make. Lasting change, right? If it's going to be lasting, then the subconscious mind has to be on board. Otherwise, what's going to happen is it isn't going to last. It's going to revert us back to our old habits. So, conscious mind, everything that we're aware of. You see, you look, I look around me, I see all of these beautiful, trees and sun and a gorgeous blue sky, and I feel a very light breeze, and it's just absolutely a perfect day out today. And I'm aware of that all in my conscious mind. Now, my subconscious mind, it might see some things in those trees that it's not showing me, or it might, be aware of some far off distant noises that I don't hear because I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. And so it's filtered all of that out because it knows that I want to be able to have my mind and attention, on what I'm doing here and now in the present. Our habits. Habits are things that we do every day, day in and day out, without even thinking about them. So, for instance, you get up in the morning, you get dressed, right? Your mind is someplace else. You're thinking about what you're going to be doing for the day. You don't even think about the fact that, you're dressed, and the next thing you know, you're dressed and going through your morning routine. We tend to be very ritualistic, people. And so, as a result, as we go through that routine, we don't even think about it. Or driving. How many times have you driven someplace and you don't even remember how you got there? It's just to work or home from work. I sometimes I'll say, "Oh, the car I was driving." Has a car has a mind of its own because I'll head in the direction of work when really I'm going in the opposite direction, or something of that nature. And it's because I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, and if I'm not thinking about it, then my subconscious mind automatically is. Now, how many times are you lost in thought when you're driving, right? You're not really paying attention, because, well, for me, I drive 35,000 miles a year, so I spend a lot of time in the car. And I don't, I just, it's for me, it's quiet time. It's where I really am thinking. And, a lot of my new ideas for me come when I'm in the car driving. But now, if all of a sudden something out of the ordinary happens, an animal darts across the road, the car in front of me puts their brakes on, right? I get snapped into consciousness. And that's because the subconscious mind is really doing all the driving. But the minute that it perceives anything as danger, it immediately snaps my conscious mind into being so that I can slam on the brakes or, swerve out of the way, whatever I need to do to be able to then maintain that safety. So our subconscious mind is super, super powerful and actually guides probably 80% of everything that we do is guided through our subconscious mind. Now, the 20% that our conscious mind, does guide is super hugely important. And so having both our conscious mind and our subconscious mind on board with whatever we're doing is really critical if it's something that we want to be lasting. So it's important just to be able to understand the connection between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind as we move forward so that we're able to, if we know the roles that they play, then we can start talking about how do we, get them aligned and be able to utilize them to the best of our capability, really maximize the potential of them. All right, so we'll stop here for this section, just understanding the difference. When we come back, we're going to talk about homeostasis and how everything stays in balance. All right, thanks so much.